Hi, my name is Denise Lee, and I'm a business education teacher in Pennsylvania. One of the classes I absolutely love teaching is accounting. And after teaching accounting for 20 plus years, I have done simulations with my accounting students. But I always wanted to find a simulation that was kind of like a checkpoint. After chapter 3, then before we move on, I wanted one more real world way of testing their knowledge, and then do a couple more chapters, and then another real world way of testing their knowledge. And I never found that resource. So I created Pamela's Pies, and Pamela's Pies is a business simulation that has 4 parts. The first part is journalizing, charts of account, generally accepted accounting principles, entrepreneurial traits. The second part is posting and creating ledgers and then posting from the journal to the ledgers. The third part is cash control system, checking accounts, and so forth. And the fourth part is payroll. So this is Pamela's Pies, and I wanted to take a moment just to explain it a little bit. If you are interested in Pamela's Pies, it is in my Teachers Pay Teachers store, and I will link below so that you can easily find it. I do caution you, if you use multi-column journal method, make sure that you are purchasing the multi-column journal method. And if you are a general journal user, then make sure that's the one. I do have both available in my store. So for parts 1 and 2, you get this resource, which is part 1 and part 2. Part 1 is a little bit of teacher tips and instructions, a rubric, and so forth from me. Part 1 is understanding and identifying entrepreneurial traits, setting up a business structure, creating a chart of accounts, analyzing transactions, creating transactions from source documents, and assessing generally accepted accounting principles, where kids really have to use their critical thinking skills in deciding what concept that might be. Part 2 is open general journal pages for charts of accounts, post from the general journal to the general ledger. Of course, if you're using multi-column, you want to make sure you get that one. And then the third is proving cash in part 2. So students read a little bit about Pamela and her journey, and all 4 of these simulations go with Pamela's journey as an entrepreneur, as her business grows and becomes successful. So they read a little bit about it, and then they identify, and they type right into this document, they identify what entrepreneurial traits Pamela has. And I link a great resource for some entrepreneurial traits right in here. After reading this excerpt, and I actually recommend that students go up to view and they go to 100% so that this is easier to read and these cells are easier to fill in. But they are able to then decide what accounts she may have in her chart of accounts. Now, answers always vary here, but what a great opportunity to be really thinking, having the students think and analyze and assess what might be her chart of accounts. And then I always share the real answers with the students on the board. I give grace in this particular activity because most of the students miss maybe 1 or 2, but really gets them thinking. And again, I chalk this off as a great educational opportunity for us to learn and grow as a class. Then they are given some source documents here that they journalize. And there's a little break here where they say that Pamela's excited about her grand opening. And there are 2 scenarios here. And students have to decide and analyze really what generally accepted accounting principle might apply there. And of course, I have a teacher's key for teachers, just in case you're wondering where my head is. And then some more source documents for journalizing. Part 2 starts out with that chart of accounts so that you can, of course, go into this chart of accounts and go over with your students the correct answers. And then there is the general ledgers that the students open. After they open each of the general ledgers, they are given this journal that they then post from the journal to the ledgers, and then they prove cash, and cash is done there for them. Again, this is a comprehensive simulation that is all digital, and you can link below if you are interested.